As the snow and ice retreat, migratory birds begin returning. Flowers start to bloom. And once more, the woodlands leaf out in deer country. As the days gradually warm, the sights and sounds of spring continue to unfold. And for the deer that successfully made it through winter, there is now an abundance of nutritious food for them to choose from. Their thick winter coats are now becoming shaggy and itchy. Time to shed them in favor of new lightweight spring and summer ones. After dropping their antlers in late winter, bucks almost immediately began growing new ones. Covered in a velvet membrane that supplies nutrients to the growing antlers, they are tender and sensitive, so they must take care not to snag them. Males born last year grow nubs and are known as button bucks. In their second year, their antlers grow vertically into spikes, so these males are known as spikers. The antlers of mature bucks can grow by as much as 2 centimeters per day, making it the fastest growing tissue in the animal kingdom. But when a buck sustains a leg injury, it sometimes leads to an antler deformity on the opposite side of its body. Known as the contralateral effect, it's not fully understood why this happens, but it's thought that nutrients and energy from the healthier side of the body may be redirected to try to help repair the damaged tissue. In some cases, the antlers may return to normal size and shape in subsequent years. But this all depends upon the extent of the injury and the overall health of the buck. After a gestation period of about 200 days, pregnant does begin seeking out secluded places to give birth to fawns conceived during last fall's rut. Young females, mating for the first time, usually produce a single fawn, while older females are more likely to give birth to twins, or, on rare occasions, even triplets. Odorless and totally defenseless, newborns spend their first few days hidden in tall grass, where they know instinctively to remain quiet and lay still. To help hide them further, their coats have as many as 300 white spots that act as camouflage in the dappled light of the woodland. The doe remains close by, keeping an eye on her fawn and nursing it several times a day. Yet while her newborn is odorless, its droppings are not. So the fawn will need to move to new hiding places throughout the day. But it won't be allowed to lay around for too long. Within just a few days, fawns must be strong enough to keep pace with their mothers, as they move across a variety of terrain. As they do, the tall grass in the woodlands helps conceal them, making them harder for predators to spot. During their first 2 weeks, fawns are entirely dependent upon their mother's milk. But after becoming more active, their milk diet will not fully sustain them. So the doe will gradually discourage them from nursing, while teaching them which plants to feed on instead. Although they won't be fully weaned until late in the summer, for now it's a tiny step towards independence. Summer is a time of easy living in deer country. It's the perfect season to find a cool, shady spot to relax, or perhaps cool off in the nearby river. But while these deer are here to play, others are here to make a living. In early summer, therefore, does form sisterhoods. The fawns are now big enough to meet their aunts and cousins, and since there is safety in numbers, this strategy will provide them with an effective defense against would-be predators. These bucks, meanwhile, will spend their summer together in this small bachelor herd, while others may prefer a more solitary lifestyle. Summer days can be long and hot. To beat the heat when feeding, some may need an early start. Others a late finish. Their nutritional needs change with the seasons, but in summer they're highest for lactating females and for bucks growing new antlers. Their summer diet, therefore, consists mostly of terrestrial and aquatic herbaceous plants. These good times, however, will not last. In early morning, there is now sometimes a chill in the air. This time of plenty is now drawing to a close. Fall has arrived in deer country. Fully weaned, this year's fawns are now growing thicker, darker winter coats, losing the white spots they carried all summer. All deer will now use this time to begin bulking up, getting ready for the long winter months ahead. Fall's arrival also signals the start of the rut, deer mating season. In late summer, the buck's antlers stopped growing, and the velvet membrane covering them dried out, which they removed by rubbing against trees and bushes. But since the velvet is still full of vitamins and minerals, they took the opportunity to snack on it. These shiny new appendages will now be used to establish territories and determine breeding rights. As testosterone levels rise, mature mule deer bucks use their scent glands to begin marking their territories. Whitetail bucks, on the other hand, create shallow scrapes into which they urinate, leaving hormonal signals for potential mates. Equally sized bucks sometimes square off against each other in a contest that usually involves just pushing and shoving until one or the other concedes. But sometimes injuries do occur. Yet not all rivalries end in violence. Bucks from both species often rely on a more subtle means of assessing each other. Through a behavior known as scent investigation, bucks lick the preorbital glands located near the eyes of the other buck, gathering vital information about its age, health, and social status. While this chemical exchange allows some encounters to end peacefully, not all will. The largest of the bucks is now becoming more aggressive. Driving off the younger males, he now establishes himself as the dominant buck. Mule deer sometimes do things a little differently. Although there are tussles in which some bucks, like this one, have clearly lost an antler, there are also times when intimidation appears to be the play of the day. With his ears lowered, this dominant buck circles any newcomers. Proclaiming himself king of the hill, and providing other bucks with the opportunity to leave. As a doe gets closer to estrus, she will urinate more often. Using a process known as the Fleming response, the buck checks her urine for pheromones, determining her readiness to mate. She will only accept him during a 24 to 36 hour period, and if she does not become pregnant then, it will take another 3 or 4 weeks for her to cycle back into estrus. So he needs to stay close, ensuring he's available when she's ready. But not all does are ready, and bucks will have trouble containing them. This doe has wandered off from the herd and is now being pursued by a younger buck. He's discovered she's close, so he'll stick around. Suddenly, he becomes aware of another male. With ears lowered, he delivers the message that she's already taken, sending this interloper on his way. Mission accomplished, he now returns to find that the doe is trying to make good her escape. But this buck is nothing if not determined. At this time of year, there is a single-mindedness amongst breeding males, and that instinct runs very deep. Finally, she lays down to rest. After casually browsing his way up to her, he too lays down close by. Tonight they will likely mate, so he better be well rested. Around here, the rut continues through November and sometimes into early December. So the bucks will keep checking the does until they're certain there are none left to mate. All the while continuing to keep younger males at a distance, just in case. For both whitetail and mule deer bucks, the rut is an exhausting time. Time spent fighting, protecting territory, and mating means less time to feed. And during the rut, bucks can lose as much as 30% of their body mass. For the pregnant does, it's an opportunity now to rest in the warmth of the afternoon sun, enjoying it while they can, because winter is not that far away. Winter is by far their toughest season. A season they began preparing for in late fall. Increased daily feedings, along with additional night feedings, help the does, yearlings, and younger bucks add sufficient fat layers under their skin, as well as around their internal organs. Their thicker, darker winter coats now absorb more sunlight. They are protected by long, hollow guard hairs that trap warm air, helping to insulate the deer. Oil-producing glands in their skin then help keep their coats more water-repellent. Together, all of these adaptations help them to meet the challenges of this harsh winter environment. Their natural winter diet of twigs, dried leaves, buds, and grasses is lower in protein than during the summer months. Yet even with 4-chambered stomachs, it's also less digestible than their summer diet, which now requires more energy to digest, but results in fewer calories. In winter, therefore, deer eat less and burn more stored fat. During the really harsh weather, they will seek out sheltered locations, such as woodlands and sheltered river valleys where snow is less deep. Congregating in these areas allows them to save energy by maintaining a shared trail network that not only provides sheltered habitat, but also access to food and water, all of which improves their chances of surviving the winter. When the daylight hours once again grow longer, another year will unfold. And the deer must once again face the challenges that each season brings. It's a timeless story, as old as these hills, a story we now know as Seasons of the Deer.